All right, welcome back. Super glad you're here. I'm going to show you some things about autism, some pieces of curriculum, and a couple pieces of advice that could help you with if you are homeschooling a child who is autistic, or any child with special needs, any child that isn't, I don't know, that just has some stuff going on. All right, so first, of course, I have product of the day because I am the homeschool shopping channel. So let's take a look at this. This is balance beans. This is balance beans, not to be confused with balance beans. Now, this is easy. It goes up to super hard. So easy, you set it up like this, and this is the part you're going to use. You need to balance it. So where do we put this guy to balance it? Do we put him, oops, there's someone else there. Do we put him down there? Nope. Do we put him up there? Oh, I think I did it. I think it is super easy. So, or easy, where it's funny because it goes to super hard. But yeah, so it's balance beans. These are just some of the activities I love to do with my kids. All right, so let's talk about homeschooling an autistic kid. First of all, every kid's different. We all know this. So I'm going to spare you that spiel, but I'm going to give you some things that I find helpful and some things that I found useful. One of the things too is, first of all, start the day every day with, if you have a child who's having difficulties, every day try and start the day with 10 minutes, 10 to 20 minutes of your undirected time, one-on-one, in whatever they want to do. Whatever they want to do. So that's what I do first thing in the morning. You'll have a better behaved kid. You'll have a better relationship. Okay, next step is when it comes to reading, writing, and math, kind of focus on those things, but specifically is you're not going to be able to do a language arts program. It's very unlikely you're going to be able to do a language arts program. You have to switch language arts into language arts is comprised of vocabulary, handwriting, reading comprehension, learning to read, things like that. You're going to have to split that up. And that's okay because you can still do wonderful things. Another thing I would do is sometimes wait till later. Don't think you have to teach, oh, well, he's in grade 1, he's got to learn grade 1. No, you go at the pace of the student. It always bothers me if you ever see those studies sometimes where they're like, oh, homeschool students, that they're just not up to par and they're all behind. And in my head, I'm like, a lot of kids with special needs are homeschooled so that they can be taught at their level. And second of all, I mean, kids in public school are also behind. So it's not like it's like, this one is not good and the other's bad. No, it's whatever works for you. So let me, without further ado, show you a couple things. Oh, no, I have another product. This is Come Look With Me. The world of art. This is Enjoying Art with Children, this specific one. So let me just show it to you. So this is kind of cool. You can do it at breakfast or do it at lunch. I do a lot of teaching breakfast and lunch and snacks. So let's just take how to use this book. But here, basically, you take a look at the picture and then you read these questions and here's some information about it. How does this child compare to most 1-year-olds you've seen? What do you think the child is looking at? What makes you think so? So it's also stimulating conversation. So here's another one, right? This boy is holding a string in his hand. Where does it go? Why? What do you think the boy is thinking about? All right, so it's kind of cool. They have them for early American history. They have them for a ton of different things. You buy them used, and I think it's just called Come Look With Me, the series. And yeah, I have quite a few of them, and I really like it. I enjoy it. So let me show you one of the products that I think is helpful is grammar and punctuation. This says grade 1. Now, but do it when you think your child is ready for it. And let me tell you some things. So because handwriting is difficult for some children, you're going to see when I show you in a lot of books that I've used with my child and children is that there's not a lot of handwriting because we do it orally. They're eating a snack and we're discussing it. They're using their fingers to point or they're telling me to write because handwriting needs to be started at a later time for children with neurodiversity. Not always. I mean, I'm sure there's kids that are an exemption to that. But it's not easy for them to do. So it starts out, this book, look for this cover. Grammar and Punctuation, Evan Moore, this cover, if you decide to go with this, because they kind of changed it. There's a different cover, and I don't like it nearly as much. Okay. Rule number 1, a sentence is a whole thought. Sentence, not a sentence. And remember, you can go over these things. So I don't do like one rule a day. I don't believe in that. What I believe is we sit down, we go through rules till we're tired of it, put the book away, and then some other time during the week, I'll pull it out and we'll go through it again. Or see, then you can go through it a second time, or you can continue on. There's no rules here as far as how to do these things. It's just whatever works for you. So then once you do that, you do, okay, circle the sentences. Which ones are sentences? I like, runs fast, she runs fast. Okay, so kind of do that and cut and glue to make a sentence. Again, we would just be like, okay, where does this go? Where's that go? So that's just how we do it, just to save time. Color the sentences red. A sentence, rule 2, a sentence begins with a capital letter. The box is red. Jan has a pet cat. This flower is pretty. All right, so you get it. See, this is why handwriting isn't generally done. Like, I get what's going on here, but a lot of people wouldn't understand. Do you know what I mean? So, yes or no. Okay, so anyway, you get it. So this book I think is great to be done anytime. And again, you can read. I'm not a big fan of 1 page a day, only because stopping and starting a child to get that page out. I prefer, we do reading, writing, and math every day. Reading, writing, math every day. But then these things I pull out. I look at the bin, and there's a bunch of books I have like this in the bin for different subjects. And I'm like, okay, today we're going to study history. And I know what I want to complete for the year. Let's talk a science. Very simple science. I have a lot of simple sciences. We're doing 4 curriculums this year. So I have a lot of simple sciences. And the sciences I find most simple, this is a Becca. This is level 1. You don't need a teacher's manual. I want to say it's $20 for this book. So these are the things you'll cover: discovering myself, discovering my toys. So it's very gentle, very easy. Discovering animals, insects, plants, and seasons. Let's go to plants. Let me show you something. So you go down to 94, page 94 for plants. So what we would do is we're sitting down, we're having lunch, and I pull out this book, or breakfast is usually when we do it. We pull out the book, I'm going through it, and I say, okay. So I read through the section. Let me show you the section. So this is discovering plants. These are some vocabulary. I'm sure if you had the teacher's manual, like, they would define those, but that's fine. It's not a big deal at this age. We need plants to live. We like ham. Things like that, whatever. Parts of the plant. And now this is something to try. You can do these experiments. I don't, but you can. Find a plant and watch it grow. What you need: lima beans. So they're very simple, affordable, easy experiments if there are some. Something to try. Make some funny planters. Again, I don't do that stuff. So flowers, seeds, and fruits. So we go through and we read. It takes us a couple days probably to get through, right? Get through. I skip the you can try. So what I want to show you is 2 things. So then at the end of every chapter, now there is religion mixed in here. So you can read that, but you can skip it if you like. This particular science, I mean, you can't really skip. It's a Becca. You cannot skip the religion in here. It's all melded in. But there is other simple curriculums if you are not into that. At the end of every chapter, there's do you remember? Circle the correct answer. The what, right? And if we don't get a question, then we go back through it. You can also do, and then write the names of the parts of the plant on the lines. I just, again, we do that orally. Now, what I would do is, the reason my kids remember so much is because I use mnemonic devices. So I open this up. No, wrong book. That is my planner, my plan with me book. This is almost like their book, if you will. Things through the lessons that I want them to know and things that I want them to remember. So just things that I thought were important. I want to make sure they know the days of the week. And then twice a week, we bring out this book, okay? The 13 colonies, whatever we're studying. The Lord's Prayer, till I'm sure we know it. Layers of the ocean, just whatever interests them. Okay, what makes a fish a fish? These I made on Canva. Now, I'm trying to show you one that goes to the science one, but this is another. These are 2 other science things 2 other curriculums that we are studying this year. Just because we can. Because we can, why not? Sign language is what we're also working on. Where is the plant thing? For heaven's sakes. I don't know if that's bad to say, for heaven's sakes. I have no idea. But Benjamin Franklin, that's summed up something about him. I think we're almost there. The rainforest. This I took out. So this is an example of something that I found in, might not have been this year, might have been level 2, Discovering God's World. And then, so I put it in, right? Rainforest emergent layer. And I don't put everything in there. Like every lesson that's covered, it's not put in this book. But then when we were studying it and we were going through, I'm like, it's not really necessary for them to understand and to remember all the layers of the rainforest. Like, it's not like they're going to be in college and be like, oh my gosh, my mom didn't teach me the understory layer. I am screwed. No, so things like that. So like I took that out and was like, you know what, we don't need to remember that. So sometimes I make things, but this I want them to remember. The plant recipe: sunlight makes plant food chlorophyll, carbon dioxide goes in. What do animals and humans give plants? We give it carbon dioxide, but it needs water, it needs sun. And what do plants give us? They give us oxygen. This I want them to remember. So I would put it in the book, and even the youngest child, once a week we pull it out. You could do it all year. Just once a week, pull out this book and go through these pages while they're eating breakfast. Listen, we studied marsupials for a bit. I forget which science curriculum that was. I feel like that was yet another one. Just one of those books we picked up. But anyway, you could put definitions in here. I mean, you could put really anything you want in there. It's almost like, it's kind of like a morning menu, if you will. Anyway, there is some stuff to help you on your journey with your child. I hope you keep tuning in. I hope you come back. Come back. All right, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Please like and subscribe.
Yes.
And hit the bell for notifications.